You know that moment at the end of every year? That surge of motivation when you look at your calendar and think, this is it. Next year will be my year. And then, well, let's be honest. Life happens. The gym membership collects dust, that side project stays in the someday folder, and those dreams of learning a new language, still stuck at bonjour. Don't worry, my hand's way up too. I've been there more times than I can count. But here's the thing that changed everything for me. I discovered that sticking to your goals isn't about having superhuman willpower or completely overhauling your life. It's about tiny, daily tweaks that add up to massive changes. And that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Let's make 2025 different. Not because we're different people, but because we finally have the right tools. What if I told you that just 10 minutes a day, yes, literally the time it takes to microwave your leftover pizza, could turn "I'll start tomorrow" into "I did it today"? No complicated spreadsheets, no expensive planners, no life-changing apps that you'll forget to use after day 3. Just 3 simple steps that actually work in the real world, where Netflix exists, and sometimes your dog eats your motivation. You know that feeling when your brain feels like a smartphone with 20 apps running at once, Instagram notifications popping up while you're trying to work, that embarrassing moment from high school randomly playing in the background, and somewhere in there, your goals are struggling to get any bandwidth. Yeah, mine too. It's like trying to stream a movie with dial-up internet. Frustrating and ultimately futile. But today, we're going to close all those unnecessary tabs and focus on what really matters. Think of this as spring cleaning for your brain. Except you don't have to get off the couch, and I promise there's no actual cleaning involved. Unless that's your goal, in which case stick around because we're about to make even that feel achievable. Today, I'm sharing my signature 3-step fix that took me from being the world champion of procrastination to actually getting things done. And trust me, if I can do it, anyone can. This is the same system that helped me write a book, learn to cook something other than toast, and finally understand what people mean when they talk about morning routines. Spoiler alert, it's easier than folding laundry, which, by the way, is still sitting in my dryer as we speak. Let's talk about why we overcomplicate everything. We have this weird idea that unless something feels difficult or painful, it's not worth doing. Want to save money? We think we need to immediately start putting away half our paycheck. Want to get fit? We convince ourselves we need to transform into a 5 a.m. gym warrior overnight. Want to start a business? We believe we need a perfect business plan, website, and social media presence before we can even begin. But here's the truth that nobody talks about. Tiny steps beat big plans every single time. Want to save money? Start with just $1 a day, literally less than a cup of coffee. Want to get fit? Do 2 push-ups. Not 20, not 200, just 2. Want to start a business? Send 1 email to a potential client. These small actions might seem ridiculous, but they have something that massive plans don't. They actually get done. Before we dive deeper, I need you to do something for me. Quick, grab a pen and something nearby. Your coffee mug, your phone, that half-eaten sandwich, anything. Don't worry about looking silly. My stick figure self has done way more embarrassing things. We'll use whatever you grabbed in step 2, and trust me, it's going to be game-changing. Step 1, cut the clutter. Let's talk about mental clutter, the silent productivity killer that nobody warns you about. You know how 90% of the stuff in your closet are things you never wear? Well, 90% of your stress comes from stuff you don't actually need to worry about. It's like having a browser with hundreds of tabs open. Sure, you might need them someday, but right now they're just slowing everything down. Here's what we're going to do. Grab that pen I asked you to get earlier, and let's have some therapeutic chaos. Write down every single "I should" that's bouncing around in your head. I should start meal prepping. I should call my aunt. I should learn Python. I should organize my sock drawer by color. Get it all out. Every task, worry, and random 3 a.m. thought that's been living rent-free in your brain. Now for the fun part, we're going to be ruthlessly selective. Look at your list and cross out 9 out of 10 items. Yes, you heard that right. We're keeping just 1 thing to tackle today. 1 single thing. I can hear you protesting, but everything's important. Is it though? Is organizing your sock drawer by color really as important as starting that side business? Spoiler alert, it's not. This isn't about ignoring responsibilities. It's about focusing on what actually moves the needle. It's like decluttering your closet. Once you get rid of the stuff you never wear, finding your favorite outfit becomes so much easier. Less clutter equals more focus, and more focus equals actual results. Try this tonight. It literally takes 2 minutes, and I promise you'll sleep better knowing you're not carrying the weight of 100 shoulds on your shoulders. Step 2. Start smaller than you think. Now, let's talk about why your goals feel as intimidating as a spider wearing a tiny hat. Cute in theory, terrifying in practice. Big goals are scary because our brains are hardwired to protect us from failure. When you say, "I want to write a book," your brain immediately pictures a 400-page masterpiece and goes, "Nope, too scary. Let's watch cat videos instead." This is where the magic of thinking smaller comes in. Don't think about writing a book. Think about writing one sentence. Don't think about running a marathon. Think about putting on your running shoes. Don't think about becoming a YouTuber. Think about recording a 30-second video on your phone. Remember that object I asked you to grab earlier? Let's use it as your progress reminder. If you grabbed a coffee mug, every sip becomes a reminder to take one tiny step toward your goal. If it's your phone, every notification becomes a cue to do one small thing. Yes, I'm literally giving you permission to use your coffee addiction or social media habits as productivity tools. Modern problems require modern solutions, right? The beauty of starting small is that it bypasses your brain's fear response. Your brain can't freak out about writing one sentence. It can't panic about walking for 5 minutes. And here's the best part. Once you start, continuing becomes so much easier. It's like trying to get a sleepy teenager out of bed. The hardest part is just getting them to open their eyes. Let me share a secret. I wrote my first book using the one-sentence rule. Just one sentence a day. Some days, that one sentence turned into 10 pages because once I started, I didn't want to stop. Other days, it really was just one sentence, and that was perfectly okay. The book still got written, one tiny step at a time. Step 3. Turn work into play. Here's something they don't teach you in school. If it's not fun, you probably won't stick with it. That's not laziness. That's human nature. We're literally wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. So instead of fighting against your brain's natural tendencies, why not work with them? Fun sticks. Boring doesn't. It's as simple as that. Think about how easily you remember song lyrics versus how hard it is to remember your grocery list. That's because your brain loves entertainment and actively resists anything that feels like a chore. Let's get creative with this. Learning a new language? Turn your morning commute into a game show where you try to name everything you see in that language. Working on fitness? Create a dance party workout where you do one squat every time your favorite artist says a certain word. Writing a business plan? Pretend you're explaining it to a group of kindergartners, complete with crazy voices and sound effects. Here's my favorite hack, the 5-second rule. When you don't feel like starting something, count down from 5 like you're NASA launching a rocket. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off, then move. Physically move. It's like playing Simon Says with yourself. And it works because it turns procrastination into a game. Your brain can't resist a countdown. It's literally programmed into our DNA from countless games of hide and seek. And yes, I know this sounds silly. That's exactly the point. The more you embrace the silliness, the more likely you are to actually do the thing. I once learned all the bones in the human body by creating a rap song about them. Was it Grammy-worthy? Absolutely not. Did it work? You bet your phalanges it did. Now, before you run off to start implementing all of this, I've got something exciting coming up next week that's going to take your goal-setting game to the next level. We're going to dive deep into working with your energy patterns instead of against them. You know how everyone keeps preaching about 5 a.m. workout sessions, like it's the only way to be successful? Well, what if I told you that forcing yourself to be a morning person when you're naturally a night owl is like trying to teach a fish to climb a tree? Next week, we're going to explore how to design your perfect day around when you're actually at your best, not when Instagram influencers tell you to be productive. This is especially important because understanding your natural rhythms is like having a cheat code for productivity. Night owls, I see you, and I promise you don't have to feel guilty about not being part of the 5 a.m. club. Your peak hours might be at 10 p.m., and that's perfectly okay. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss it. Trust me, it's going to be game-changing, especially if you've ever felt guilty about not being a morning person. If this video helped you see your goals in a new light, smash that like button. It's completely free, and yes, it literally makes my stick figures do a happy dance. I'm not kidding. The animators actually programmed that in. Plus, it helps more people find these strategies, and we're all about spreading the joy of actually achieving our goals instead of just dreaming about them. Let's make 2025 the year you actually win at your goals. Not because you forced yourself into some rigid system, but because you finally found a way to make progress feel natural and, dare I say it, fun. Remember, small steps beat big plans every single time. Drop a comment below with one tiny step you're going to take today. It can be as simple as drinking water or writing one sentence. Let's build this supportive community together, one small win at a time. Until next time, keep it simple, keep it fun, and most importantly, keep moving forward.